So there is a YouTube channel called Jubilee, which has nearly 10 million subscribers that I'd never actually heard of, but I have seen these kinds of clips come out of, where it's one person arguing for whatever propositions, and 20 usually quite excitable people who end up arguing against them on the clock. And as you can see, this is Jordan Peterson versus 20 atheists, although it was originally called one Christian versus 20 atheists. So I don't know why they've changed it. Well, I think in fact I do know why they've changed it, but we'll come to that in a minute. So I watched this and it was interesting. The atheists generally acquitted themselves fairly well, actually. The standard of debate with the younger atheists is way better than the sort of standard you got with the new atheists. But Jordan Peterson actually did a fairly good job as well. So overall, I would actually say that the quality of the debates that are being had on the subject are quite good. Now, I think that there's a fundamental problem in that what Jordan Peterson is trying to do is find a rational grounding for a belief in God. And this is what the atheists are so angry about, because of course the problem with the rational grounding for a transcendental claim is that you'd have to ground it in something in the material world. But the basic assumption of God is that he, whatever, is a transcendent being that lies outside of space, time, and the material realm. So really, you don't want it. There's kind of a category error as far as I'm concerned here, as in you can logically convince yourself that God exists, but I think that isn't the same as having a true belief in the thing. But anyway, I'm an atheist as well, so who knows, right? But the point being is that overall the standard of debate was quite high and it was quite interesting, and I actually really quite enjoyed it. And it's a bit frustrating that the only thing that has come out of this so far that people have paid attention to is this clip. Now, as you can see here, young Putin has entitled it, during a debate during One Christian, 20 Atheists, Jordan Peterson was pressed to identify himself as a Christian but awkwardly refused. Now, Peterson, elsewhere in the debate, explains why he doesn't call himself a Christian. And this is to do with not just the hierarchy of values that he talks about, but the amount to which he manifests that hierarchy of values. He points out rightly that a person can profess anything they want, but if they live a life that's in contradiction to it, or they don't even try and fulfill these ideals, then what's the point in caring what a person professes themselves to be? But the point is, this has already happened by the time this young man sits down. So he actually should know that this is not something that Jordan Peterson necessarily calls himself. And he could have listened to Peterson's explanation as to why that's the case. But like you see, this clip was actually not remarkable for the comment that young Putin here has attached to it. It's actually remarkable for how unbelievably disrespectful this angry young man is. And I just want to watch this and have a quick chat about it with you, because I found it really funny, actually. Maybe it's because I'm older, maybe it's because I'm a dad. But I just looked at this and the entire interaction is like Jordan Peterson getting sassed by one of his own children.
Why is that relevant?
Because you go to a Catholic church, don't you? Or you've attended recently. You're interested in Catholicism, aren't you?
So just a quick thing. Look how furious this young man is, right? Whatever Catholicism has done to him, whatever some Catholic priest has done to him, it's left him very bitter and angry and looking for revenge. And I think that this young man sees getting one over at Jordan Peterson as a way of striking back at Catholicism. And he becomes increasingly more frustrated that Jordan Peterson isn't prepared to be the avatar of Catholicism that he wants to knock down. Because Jordan Peterson actually does have a much more nuanced view on this subject than someone who is just a professing Bible-thumping believer. And that's who he came to fight. And so all he's got to resort to is snark. And in the immediate, yeah, sure, that's funny, but it's also kind of sad, actually.
Aren't you?
Sure.
All right. Are you familiar with their doctrines?
Somewhat.
Okay, you're
Their
familiar.
doctrines are very
How do they
deep.
regard Mary?
Why are you asking me that?
Because you're a Christian.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Oh, what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
I don't know.
You don't know where you are right now.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
and I mean
either
it,
you're a
'cause
Christian
I won't
or you're
talk
not.
to you if you're a smartass.
Oh, either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
I could be either of them, but I don't have to tell you.
You
So you can see at this point that the young man is just being unbelievably rude. And again, this young man, was he 24? Something like that? Jordan Peterson's 60. He should be showing respect to his elders, if nothing else. If not showing just respect to the fact that he's talking to someone he doesn't know and who doesn't know him. Why are you acting like Jordan Peterson shagged your mum? Like, Jordan Peterson hasn't personally wronged you. The way you're approaching this young man is entirely inappropriate. And the thing is, well, when everyone sits down, Jordan Peterson's very polite to them as well. He shakes their hand. He says, "Hello, how are you? What's your name?" And he's establishing the proper grounds for a discussion and relationship in which actually something productive could be done. And if you watch any of the other ones, they are actually productive. Like there's this one young black lady who actually has a really great point that Jordan Peterson's view that everyone worships something and there's a kind of hierarchy of values, and at the top of these hierarchies is what we call God. And he concedes that we have different value sets and different hierarchies. Then she's saying, well, aren't you saying actually there are multiple gods then? Really great point. And Peterson has trouble stepping around it. But she approaches this politely, and all of the other people approach this politely. It's just this angry young man who really sets himself apart. And so, like, when taken out of context, it's easy to see, oh, Peterson looks like he's, rattled or whatever. And I'm not trying to come across like the Jordan Peterson's biggest defender or anything. It's just I watched the full thing, and in context, this is just embarrassing for this young man, actually. And I think that really he walked away thinking he's the big I am, but like in years to come, he'll look back at this and go, God, that was me being just rude and embarrassing. And also, he kind of concedes the entire point as well, if we carry on.
You don't have to tell me. I was under the impression I was invited to talk to a Christian. Am I not talking to a Christian?
No, you were invited to.
I think everyone should look at the title of the YouTube channel. You're probably in the wrong YouTube video.
I mean, to be fair, he's got a point on this. Like, it was titled 1 Christian, 20 Atheists, and then they changed it, Jordan Peterson versus 20 Atheists, because I guess Jordan Peterson didn't give them the firm grounding that they were looking for. But that doesn't justify being excessively rude. What are you so upset about?
You're really quite something, you are.
Aren't I? But you're really quite nothing, right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him.
Right, there we go. And this is where the young man gives away everything. You're really quite something. He goes, yeah, but you're really quite nothing because you're not a Christian. Putting Christianity in the position of authority, of moral legitimacy, and putting him in the position of a critic who is prepared to just give Christianity a shit test. Say, look, I accept you are the legitimate doctrine, but you have to prove yourself to me, and I'm going to adopt a standard that is rationalistic and materialistic that the concept of faith can never meet, and therefore I'm going to condemn you on an inappropriately applied standard. And if you don't accept this, I'm just going to get frustrated, and I'm just going to be very rude to you. I'm going to walk off, but I'm not going to disprove anything that you're arguing. I'm not going to suggest that actually I have an alternative view that is morally correct, that is metaphysically descriptive about the universe. All I'm going to say is you have failed me. And that's really what this comes down to. Angry young men. And you'll notice the dynamics of this come across very much as an angry young son berating his father. And in a kind of spiritual way, that's definitely what we're watching happen here. And yet the young man, so confident in his ability to say, you don't have all the answers, has decided if you don't have all the answers, then you have none of the answers. And if you're not the Christian that you profess to be, you are nothing. But the thing is, I mean, he's not a Christian either. And so he's nothing as well. And I think that's what he's actually angry about. I'm angry because I can't bring myself to buy in to the mysticism of religion because I have been trained exclusively in rationalism. And so if you can't give me a materialistic grounding that follows from direct logical propositions, into something quantifiable at the end of it, then I can't be religious. Not understanding that he is one of C.S. Lewis's men without chests. He can go around and evaluate the whole world as much as he wants using his normal-sized brain, but his ability to genuinely feel for things has been withered away. And so it's not that his head is larger than anyone else's, it's that his chest is far smaller. And he's angry about it. He's realized that actually that's nothing. And it's the men with chests that are something. And if Jordan Peterson isn't prepared to step into that role, he'll declare Jordan Peterson to be as low as he is. And I think that's terribly sad. And also, I think this young man really wishes he was a Christian, actually. I think he wishes he had a chest. And I think what he's actually raging against is not really Jordan Peterson or even Catholicism. I think he's really raging at the system that made him the way he is. Because if he was born 1,000 years ago, he'd probably be a priest or something. He'd probably be a monk. He'd probably be whatever it is he feels that he is lacking. And he would have the spiritual sustenance that he seems so bitter about not possessing. Which is very sad. But the thing is, I don't think he's going to critically analyze himself or this interaction at all. Which is a shame, because I think there's a lot he could learn about himself contained within it.